So as you know, this is the hotel, actually, right there, beautiful hotel. And we have working groups. There's a bunch of you, actually, this is your first time here. So what's different about Metric, and maybe you picked up on this last night, it's an engaged discussion. It's more like a round table. We don't have talking heads who, you're amongst peers, basically. And so the idea is, let's talk it out. Let's work these things out. And so the topic is MEMS fabrication. I am sure there's a few people who don't agree on everything in this room. And I encourage that discussion. This is the list of the 10 that we've been doing since 2001. I sort of went over this earlier. By the way, all this information will be on the website, and you'll get as a kind of a parting gift from Metric. So if there's information on here that you want to get more on, this is just a list of the Metric action items from last year that we're working on this year. This is highlights from the MEMS fabrication survey, and much like when we talked about in the panel last night, what I think is interesting is the trend. No real big surprises here is the trend towards 8-inch. I was in Roylingen and saw that gorgeous 8-inch fab that Bosch and Bosch Sensor Tech have just built. CMOS, no surprise here that it's an emerging trend and it's here to stay. Again, the survey highlights with respect to wafer level packaging, TSV, no surprises. Second source, this is clearly a trend. There had been some criticism that there wasn't an opportunity for second source in years past, but now with the rise and the strength of a lot of the foundries that are in this audience, we're seeing some multiple second source and even third source sometimes. The one thing I wanted to highlight here, do we have this? This is not working, but I kind of highlighted in orange here. The little disconnect that we found in our survey is that when we surveyed the foundries, what's the most important factor in working with device manufacturers? And then we asked device manufacturers, what's the most important issue? The one disconnect is that transferable process steps. Device manufacturers said that that's an important factor, but it wasn't on the list that foundries thought that their customers needed. So, test this. Does that sound right to you, Claude? I mean, yeah. This is our goal. This is our goal, is to have those kinds of open discussions about where those disconnects are. This is an overview of the surveys. It's all in your workbook. Communication. It's sort of like in a marriage or in any kind of partnership or even dealing with your kids. Communication, making sure, especially when you're dealing with international stuff, like that loss in translation thing, that is real. And so even when you're dealing within a company, translation, communication, keeping it simple, those are all the key things that are important for MEMS fabrication. This is all in your workbook again, and you'll see where everyone's going. We had this is last night's panel, and today, I love this, many faces of MEMS fabrication, and the good, the bad, the ugly. No, just kidding. It's Fab Light, Fab Less, Captive Fab. It's going to be a fantastic discussion. We're really excited, and that'll be in the next couple of minutes. The working groups, we have the morning ones. We have you broken into sort of more technical, more business. So there's the technical challenges, new opportunities, working with a foundry. I know there's some of you who want to be to all four. The idea is that you pick one, and then at the end of the day, we'll have a wrap-up session. Plus, we'll be taking good notes, and we'll have presentations so that while you're participating in one working group, you'll still have that opportunity to get the value add from the other working group. Here's just a list of all the things that the working groups will be working on. Eric Lautenschlager and Chris Milne will be talking about technical challenges in optimizing MEMS fabrication. These are the things that they'll be looking at: materials, partnerships, yields, design, really good stuff. New opportunities for MEMS. I'm really interested in this in particular just because this is the kind of stuff that I'm asked to speak about all the time when I talk. MEMS growth, adjacent markets, again, a fantastic topic. We're really pleased to have Aaron Pabo and David Buckley moderating this one. Captive, it's going to be a sort of where that panel discussion, because they'll only have an hour this morning, it's going to be the next step after that discussion, talking about the different faces of MEMS fabrication. Tom Chang and John McKillop will be moderating this one. I think the great thing about having someone like John McKillop, who's like an industry veteran in MEMS, is that lessons learned thing. That's very rarely do you get to have those open discussions and honest discussions, and I'm just so happy to have John there because he's a no bullshit guy, so this is great. Then working with a foundry, the working group led by Magnus Rimskog and Harry Engwer. This is going to be, the whole idea of this one is that the takeaway from this is a checklist. If I'm working with a fab and I'm looking at a foundry, a first source or second source, what are the questions that I need to ask? What are the issues I need to know before I even go to them, so that I'm an informed consumer? That's what this working group is going to be talking about. All of you, while you're in your working group, you'll have somebody, your moderators will be leading through these series of questions. An overview of where the industry is now, where does the industry want to be in 5 years, what are the technical and business challenges to overcome, and what do you need from your suppliers? At the end of the day, we're a MEMS supply chain organization. What do you need from your suppliers to help you get there? And then lastly, one recommendation, just one recommendation, one tangible action item recommendation that your working group can say that MIG should follow on in the next 1 to 5 years. In the past,